Yo, how
At
could you?
100, you're right, dude. I don't know, man. I'm living on the edge, man. I'm a daredevil. I'm a stuntman, dude. At the end of the day, I'm a fucking stuntman, dude.
How much of your job at Universal Studios did you do drunk?
I did the show drunk a few times. We would go to fucking there was a bar about 30 feet from Waterworld. So every now and then, at lunchtime, we'd have a few beers. I wouldn't say completely drunk because you'd throw up. It was literally like a sprint the entire time. It was like 15 minutes of the show time, and it was a sprint. So it was a little gnarly, you know.
We were talking extensively about Leo's job at Waterworld while we were filming the Wizard of Oz video. We'll talk about all that, the strike situation too. What I fished out of Leo, though, finally, got him to admit it after all this time, was that his job in this supposed stunt show consisted of coming out on a boat shirtless, flexing his bicep, and firing off a fake shotgun.
Yeah. Well, it was a real shotgun, but blanks, yeah.
But that's not what I think of when I think of somebody doing stunts.
You're right. I had a hammer fight with a guy with like a big hammer type axe thing.
You had a hammer fight with me during the janitor shoot. Remember that?
Yeah, dude.
Big Bear Mountain?
That's a classic, man. That's
Great
some of
moment.
my best acting when I'm like dismissive of you and I say that one. I forgot what I say, but I remember thinking, wow, that's some of the best acting I've ever done on camera, at least.
You don't remember anything you said, but still left a big impression on you.
Yeah, I mean, what did I? It was something like get out of here, you fucking. I don't know what it was.
Wow,
you're right. I'm sorry.
Whoever the screenwriter was must have been a genius.
You were a genius. You wrote that really
Continue
well.
telling us about your responsibilities in your so-called stunt show.
Well, first of all, I stunt drove a boat, and it was the guy compared it to driving a semi. Driving a semi really fast in like a parking lot. That's kind of what it was. It was a little pool, and I drove this big boat, and I had to like drift it into the thing, and then then
it was so tough you could do it shit-faced while blowing kisses at the girls in the stands.
Well, I got really good at it, and then yes, I would keep an eye. I would keep an eye out. I would put the Sage was the guy that kind of opened the show. Probably the role that you would play. He kind of pump up the crowd, say a few jokes, and then get killed within the first 5 minutes. That'd totally be your job. Usually the old guys did it. And so while he was pumping up the crowd, he would tell me section 1, 2, or 3 where the hottest girls were. So he'd come backstage and be like, yeah, section 2, got a couple blondes, look like a Australian dance team or something like that.
That wasn't just part of his pump-up speech?
No, he wouldn't.
Hey, welcome to the Waterworld Stunt Show. I can see the hottest girls are over in section 2. Yeah!
Dude, no.
After a couple drinks, you never let that slip?
Honestly, I think they only, they've said like the F word a few times when somebody like slipped on some water or something like, oh, fuck. But nothing crazy like that.
Here's why I'm skeptical that Leo... Here's why I think that guy could have done exactly what I just did. You once admitted that during the middle of the stunt show, I think it was somewhere between flexing your right bicep and firing off the blank, you walked up into the crowd, took a girl by her hand, and got her Snapchat while the show was going live.
Look, I'm not going to lie. I would do, yes. Sometimes there was a little bit of downtime when we would take over the atoll. See, I was part of the mean guys. We would come in, we would take over the atoll, and then...
Atoll?
An atoll is like it's a word for, it's from Waterworld. It's a floating fortress. So I would come in. I was a what was it? I forgot the name. I'm forgetting everything, dude. And so anyway, I'd come in. I was one of the bad guys.
Well, you were drunk most of the time.
Yeah, that's what it is. I was drunk last night. I think that's what it is. Came over. We would take over the atoll, right? And then when we were like taken over, my job was to go and like intimidate some of the people. So instead of doing that,
who were the people?
The crowd.
The high school girls in the crowd?
There were not that many high school girls. There was a lot of college girls too, Danny.
Yeah.
And what I would do, I would go into the crowd sometimes because I would, we had this, I was supposed to intimidate people, and sometimes there'd be a cute girl. So I would sit down next to her, or like, the crowd would kind of be laughing about this, and I'd kind of like get her information. I'd say something like along the lines of the storyline. I'd be like, I haven't seen women in months. What's up? Can I get your Snapchat? Stuff like that.
Yeah, it sounds effectively intimidating.
It was a very fun job, and I, pulled my penis out way too many times, and that's why I'm not working there anymore.
While you were up there in the stands intimidating people?
Forced to resign. All right, yes, sometimes I do it during the show.
Leo had a habit of getting park employees, females, back to his Ultima for blowjobs. In the parking lot.
Yeah. Look, I'm not proud of it or anything. Some of them weren't that cute. There was definitely a mix of security guards and ugly fucking dressers that would do this for me. But you know what? I am a horny guy, and it would happen. But anyway,
I've never seen a cute female security guard, and I've worked so many jobs.
She was like Latina and black. She was, for a blowjob,
Fat.
I mean, she was a little chubby.
Questionable tattoos. Kid at home.
She did have a questionable tattoo. No kid.
Don't believe it. She did.
Kid.
She probably got pregnant and delivered the child in her sleep, but she was so fat and so drunk all the time.
God. But
she didn't even know.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, I was, I was basically using the park as it was like a junior college. That's how I treated it. I would go around. I was a big man on campus. I would literally be shirtless 98% of the times, backstage during the show, whatever. And then I would get these girls, and then one of them, they got kind of mad one day. Don't shit where you eat, all right? And then one day they just said, hey, I blew Leo, but he is, he makes me uncomfortable at work now. And
that's what Austin's been saying since we hired him.
Well, god damn it, old habits die hard, buddy. I did get blown by Austin in my Altima right outside your house. Your neighbor might have.
I'm aware.
Your neighbor might have seen.
I'm the HR department here, but I choose to cast a blind eye.
Yeah, it's perfect. So yeah, your neighbor might have seen, dude. And
talent over producers, Austin. Okay.
Yeah, but if you worked there, you would have been the sage. You would have gotten quite amount of. Dude, there was hot girls at the park too. I went out with the dance team, dude. I banged a couple of girls on the dance team.
The dance team that was Universal Studios' dance team?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I imagine they're pretty hot.
They were hot, dude.
And I imagine they get paid very little. They're ex-college cheerleaders who their whole lifestyle used to be drinking, fucking, staying in shape. And now it's just continuing for an extra 3 or 4 years.
Actually, they got paid not bad. It was $40 an hour.
Okay, just enough to make them feel like they're riding high and they could afford to make bad decisions.
Exactly. It was not a bad gig. Oh, we got La Noche texted.